Welcome to Chapter 1, The Basics of Web Design. The essential outcomes for Chapter 1. You will be exploring the internet world from the perspective of a web designer by identifying legal and ethical components of web design, recognizing the difference between a MAC address and an IP address, breaking apart the components of a URL, assessing the basic needs for a web designer, creating a web page using the basic HTML shell and other HTML tags in Notepad++, inserting images into a web page, and you'll be expected to connect key terms in the chapter with application. Welcome to Section 1-1, the URL or the Universal Resource Locator. The URL for a website is a set of directions that guide the browser to locate specific websites. Without the URL, the browser would not be able to find a web page that you are looking for. The IP address is the URL instructing the browser to actually access a specific site. The domain name is one piece of the URL and it's inside the URL. Remember that the URL is a proper name for a website. So if we look at the image below, we're going to see that www.fbla-pbl.org is the proper name for the website or the URL. Breaking down a URL. The protocol, or the HTTPS:// is a set of rules that the browser and the website follow. Whenever you see the S in the HTTP, that largely means it's a secure site and it's protected. The World Wide Web, or the www/ belongs to the server where the file is being requested. The domain name is the home address of a site. The paths allow you to go down or up a level in the URL. For example, let's say you are living in an apartment building and you live on the 4th floor. That would be your home floor. That would be the www.billoreilly.com. There is your main floor. You want to go to the 1st floor. So what we would do is we get into an elevator and we go down each floor. That's how paths work. So we're on the 4th floor, which is our billoreilly.com. We go to the 3rd floor, which is our /site. The 2nd floor would be /member, and our 1st floor would be /login. To go back up to our home floor, which is the 4th floor, we would start with our 1st floor, which is login. We'd go up to the 2nd floor, which would be member. The 3rd floor would be site, and the 4th floor, or our home floor, or our home base, or our domain name would be billoreilly.com. File names. The file name is the name of the document that's being requested. Extensions are the ending of a file. The ending of a file that always starts with a dot identifies the type of file in the operating system. For example, a Word document has an extension that's .docx. Another example would be, let's say we take the file name myfile.txt. The actual file name is myfile. The .txt identifies the extension or the operating system, which would be .txt, which is a text file. Or in our case, when we go to create web pages, we will be creating pages with an HTML extension. Let's say our first web page has the file name my_first_page.html. Then we know that the file name is my_first_page, and the extension is the .html, indicating that this is an HTML document.
So the summary of the URL. This is the best way to understand URLs. People find web pages like the way they find or use maps to find physical locations. The internet is like a phone book, a place where you can go look up an address where somebody lives or where a business is located. A web page is like the physical building. In this case, it's the web page would be like our Stillman Valley building. Instead, it's a web page. The URL would be the precise street address of that building. For example, Stillman Valley's street address is 425 South Pine Street. The IP address would be like being in a car that's traveling to its destination. We have completed now section 1-1. Now it's time to do your PowerPoint activity. Number 1, on your flash drive, create a folder called web_design1. 2, inside your web_design1 folder, create a folder called chapter 1. 3, go to the class website and download the chapter 1 URL worksheet. 4, save it inside the chapter 1 folder on your flash drive. Complete the worksheet. You are free to work together on this worksheet. However, each person must turn in their own URL worksheet. 6, share the worksheet with me through Google Docs. 7, continue on when you're done with your worksheet to section 1-2 of this PowerPoint presentation. You have just finished part 1, section 1-1. Once you have shared your URL worksheet with me, please start section 1-2.